Let's talk about facts. This video is brought to you by the Officer Tatum store. The Officer Tatum store. Get the merch link in the description section. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so you get notifications anytime I go live and make a video. Make sure you like this video, share this video, comment on this video, and let's get into this. So here are some updates in the AHMAUD Arbery's case that a lot of people may not like because people have jumped to conclusions and picked a side before any of this stuff came out. And now many people are gonna walk around with an egg on their face when I told people very vividly and clearly to wait before you pick a side. You don't need to be pro McMichael. You don't need to be pro Arbery. You need to be pro facts. You need to go with the facts and information that you have available. And also, if you have a level of expertise, use your common sense and expertise. But B. Tatum is here not to coddle your feelings, not to do anything else but deliver the facts. I'm a former police officer, and I got a huge level of experience and understanding on how law works, how arrests work, and how court proceedings work. So let's start from the top. Was AHMAUD Arbery just jogging through a community to get exercise as any person in America would do in a reasonable sense? Well, ladies and gentlemen, there is no unequivocal evidence that he was jogging through the community. There's no video evidence, and there's no witness testimony that that's what he was doing. The only person that says that AHMAUD Arbery was jogging, unfortunately, he can't give the statement, but his mom believed that he was in the community jogging. Video evidence have surfaced. A lot of people are rejecting it, but it's evidence, it's video, it's going to be in a court testimony at some point. So instead of the jogging scenario, which has been debunked, video evidence shows AHMAUD Arbery walking down this residential street. He walks up to a house that is not occupied. This is not a construction site like people would envision, where there's just a frame on a house and there's no real construction. This is a nearly a fully built house that happened to have been renovated and nobody's living there. So it's unoccupied. So the image in people's minds have been that this is a construction site on just frames and it's an open area. That's not what it is. This is a legit house. Now, you can see on the video that has been presented that AHMAUD Arbery is walking through the community. He stops in front of the house. He looks both ways to see if anybody's watching him or can see him. And he does a small sprint into the driveway, and then he walks into the house through the garage. Now, initially, the video that I'm referring to, you can't tell if he's inside the house or just in the garage at this point in time. But a few minutes later or so, he comes walking out and re-enters the house at another location. Now, there's other video that has surfaced of him actually in the house. I've only seen 7 seconds of it, although he was in the house for almost 3 minutes. Now, there is no evidence to rule out if he had actually taken something or attempted to take something or not based on the 7-second video. However, according to Georgia law, if you enter a dwelling, which this house classified as a dwelling means a structure that's constructed for the purpose of people living in it, it can be occupied, unoccupied, or vacant, and it still is considered a dwelling. If a person enters a dwelling with the intent to commit a felony or theft, that person is responsible for first-degree burglary. First-degree burglary in Georgia law is a felony. So as Mr. Arbery is going into the residence, he's looking around. A reasonable person would believe he's not looking around because he's trying to figure out where he want to put his brand new couch. A reasonable person would believe that he's looking around because he's trying to look for something. Now, look for something in a house that does not belong to you sounds like you have intent to grab something, take something, which is theft. Now, a person walks out of the house and witnesses Mr. Arbery in the house. They walk out and shouts at him, which this has been confirmed from an independent source that I know who live in the area. They yell at him, and then he bolts out of the house and he's running and is visible on the camera, which is a surveillance camera of a house across the street. Now, there is a 911 call provided by Gregory McMichael. And on that 911 call, they're explaining that they visibly see Mr. Arbery currently in an unoccupied structure. And that while they're on the 911 call, they see him running out of the occupied structure, and then they give chase, according to all the documents that I've read. Now, according to Georgia law, if you witness a person or you have firsthand knowledge, or they say immediate knowledge of a crime, and it's a felony, you can pursue and conduct a citizen's arrest. And an arrest, if people don't understand what that term means, that means that you are able to grab a person, detain a person where they cannot leave. That is considered an arrest. So Georgia law gives Greg and Travis McMichael lawful reason or lawful ability to conduct a citizen's arrest on Mr. Arbery, who they've witnessed commit a crime. Now, they give chase to Mr. Arbery. The video picks up what we've all seen, the horrible video of him running down the residential street, and you can see the pickup truck with Travis McMichael and his father Greg McMichael in the back seat, and you see a video, not the back seat, but the bed of the truck, and you see a video recording them. The person in the video recording is also a neighbor who's recording the incident. On the video footage, you can see Arbery running on the left side of the road. It's a 2-lane road, and there's the painted line in the middle. He's running on the left side of the road. The McMichael's truck is on the right side of the road, not crossing the double lines. And Travis McMichael is out of the truck with a shotgun in his hand, standing on the left side of the road, which is the same side that Mr. Arbery is running down. Now, let's talk about the possession or carrying of a gun to a citizen's arrest. Now, according to Georgia law, the McMichaels are within the constitutional rights and the open carry laws of Georgia to possess and also put guns in their vehicle whenever they travel. And just because you are traveling to conduct a citizen's arrest or whatever the case may be, does not negate your constitutional right to open carry. Now, when they get out of the car with a shotgun, which is a long gun or shotgun according to Georgia law, they have a right to open carry that gun. That does not necessitate or does not indicate an immediate use of force, because they have a legitimate right by law to carry that gun. Not saying it's right or wrong or whatever the case may be, but they have that right. Mr. Arbery is running down the street. He rounds to the opposite side of the road. He goes around the McMichael's truck, and now he's in a physical altercation at the front of the truck with Travis McMichael, fighting for a shotgun. Now, there is the law that pertains to self-defense. Both McMichael and Arbery at this point have a reasonable expectation of self-defense as they're fighting for a weapon. If Arbery he had no duty to retreat. If he believed that they were conducting an illegal citizen's arrest, which is kind of hard to believe since he ran from the residence that he was potentially burglarizing. But regardless of that, if he believes that they are unjustifiably arresting him, he don't have a duty to retreat. He don't have a duty to run. He can run straight down the street, and if he's confronted, he can use his self-defense to pull the gun away from McMichael. Also, Travis McMichael, if a suspect is running, you're trying to conduct a citizen's arrest, and that suspect circles behind you and runs at you and fights you for a gun, you have a right to defend yourself by using deadly force. Now, I believe, and I'm not here to make a judgment because they will find out in court who's right and who's wrong in this. The information that I'm giving is rooted in the facts. I've seen the video. I've heard the 911 calls. And I want people that are watching this to do your research. Look it up. I am not here to tell you who's guilty and who's not guilty. I'm just here to tell you what the information is and what Georgia law is and how it is articulated in the performance of a citizen's arrest. And also Mr. Arbery's running or jogging, what people say jogging, which is no indication of, down a residential street. I am tired of people lying and being emotional, whether it's intentional or not, about a case in which they have not researched and about individuals whom they do not know and never met. I understand that there will be outrage when you see a person lose their life on video camera. But ladies and gentlemen, do not pick a side. Don't be the person to say I'm with the black man. Don't be a person to say I'm with the white man. Be a person that says I'm with the facts. And I personally believe I dispelled every single argument that has come against this case with facts. I'm not picking a side. You shouldn't pick a side. You're proven innocent. You're innocent, presumed innocent until proven guilty. These individuals that have been arrested for murder. They are innocent until proven guilty. The prosecution has the burden to prove them guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. If you ask me my personal opinion, based on my training and experience, I do not think they're going to be found guilty of murder. Based on the statutes, based on the stand your ground law, based on open carry laws, based on citizens arrest laws, based on the law of felony first degree burglary, all of those things are going to be a defense that could potentially get them out of second degree murder. If they charge them with first degree murder, there's no way. Second degree murder, that doesn't seem that there's a good chance. Manslaughter is the only possible crime that could have been committed here given the totality of circumstances. Now, at the end of the day, the court is going to do it. The juries are going to hear the case. There's information that you don't know and I don't know that will come out during the hearing. And when all that information is out, I trust that the justice system will give the right verdict. And if that's a guilty verdict, then that's what it is. In our judicial system, you have a right to appeal and you have a right to fight your case if you feel like it was unduly and it was negligent, or you feel like that the case was unfair. I think that's pretty much it. I go live to let people know. You can look on my Instagram to see more information, but I figured that I will give a quick synopsis as quick as I can give on information that's been provided, laws that have been cited, and slightly my conclusion about what I think will happen in the court of law. I believe, again, it's unfortunate that the justice system performed a knee-jerk reaction by arresting them for murder because of public outrage. I believe this should have gone to a grand jury like it was suggested by the prosecutor who did not recuse himself. And they should have been able to hear both arguments and proceed with probable cause arrest if necessary. To do this in under 48 hours after getting asked to investigate this, it is not a good look. It's not a good criminal justice precedent. But at the end of the day, we're going to see who was right and who's wrong with all the information presented. Let me add this. People that think they've seen everything, you haven't seen nearly enough. There are 4 or 5 witnesses on this case. There are 4 other cases linked to this case. 3 of them, or two or three of them are trespassing. 1 is a theft from a motor vehicle and 1 is a burglary link. So this is not the first incident in which Arbery is associated. By the police enforcement and law enforcement connectivity, they have connected and linked 4 or 5 other cases as associated cases where Mr. Arbery could potentially be a suspect in. Like I said, there's 5 more witnesses. We do not have their testimony. We do not have documentation of it. I haven't seen it. If you've seen it, send it to me. There are plenty of officers that were on the scene. CID, detectives, they were on the scene. Crime scene, the people who took photos, the autopsy, all of those are investigatory information that we are not privy to. There's surveillance camera that I just expressed to you. That's a partial camera angle. That's only the external. They have access to the internal angle. They only show 7 seconds on the media. I have not been able to obtain the entire video footage. So ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot still out there. And please, please, please use the information that's provided, understanding that there could be more. And don't hate your brother if they disagree with you. Anyway, let me know if B. Tatum tripping. Like, subscribe to the channel. Y'all hit the bell. Visit the Officer Tatum store where you get all the cool merch. Y'all know what it is. I'm out.